so we can share this, because 2B mindset really is that simple. Like people are like, what, like it's, you track it, you follow the plate it method. You track it and you weigh in every day. Some people don't weigh every day. They're not comfortable with that, but every couple days, at least once a week. And you track how different foods make you feel. You track how, you know, there's some people who they determine, if I have zucchini zoodles for dinner with whatever meat and sauce and whatever, it will be a weight loss day the next day. Dinner and done. Like there's so many simple aspects of this plan that if you have your carbs in the first half of the day, your body uses them all. So they don't, you know, sit around and be needless energy you don't need at the end of the day. If you dinner and done, that's almost intermittent fasting, in that you should have about 12 hours between meals. I know if you're doing any shift work or nighttime nursing, that affects that. It's hard to stay consistent with that. But that's why Alana doesn't really recommend intermittent fasting, because she's like, you're already doing it to a degree. It's that if you go for like 12 hours, your body uses and sometimes goes to the stores you have, and listen to your body. Like always have a water bottle with you. That's the biggest challenge, tracking what you're drinking. So you're keeping yourself hydrated, you're keeping yourself feeling fuller. And then the first thing you eat, especially if you're snacking, is vegetables. And sometimes you can appease your need to snack. And it is oddly simple at times. You're like, wait a minute. How did I lose? What did I do differently? Well, you figure out what you're doing differently by tracking it, by keeping track. In those 3 days, Rhonda, one of our girls, she lost like 15 pounds in June. And she discovered that anytime around her period, she plateaued. She couldn't, and she learned to accept it. I'm not going to stress about it. I don't lose weight in that time. As long as I continue what I'm doing, you know, 2 days, 3 days later, I'm going to drop 2 pounds. So it really depends. If you're finding, and also your energy, like if you're losing 5 pounds in July is a great amount of weight to lose. And then evaluating your energy. Did I eat enough? And often we get used to what we used to eat and we're like, oh, I didn't need all that food. I didn't need all those snacks. I didn't need all those extras. So trying to cut back on them. And then if your energy is low, you add them back in. Finding things to fill you up, like the water, like the vegetables. We have a new drink called Bevy, which I just got yesterday. I'm not 100%. Well, it'll take trying it for a while to see if it's supposed to. It's got, actually, just let me grab the box.
It has fiber, I think, right?
Yeah, it has brewer's yeast peptides are shown to help curb cravings and decrease food intake with regular use. Green tea phytosomes improve absorption of powerful. They've been clinically shown to help support healthy weight loss in green tea extract, and then fiber to help fill you up. So you're supposed to drink it. My thing is you're supposed to drink it half an hour before a meal to help you not need to eat as much. But if I plate out my meal, I'm usually good with that. For me, it's mid-afternoon where I'm like, or when it's time to prepare dinner where I'm like, give me all the food.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
And then I'm like, I don't need dinner now because I just ate everything before. So mid-afternoon, I usually have veggies and hummus, and that tides me through until dinner. So in the evening, so it's recommended half an hour before meals, but you can have it in the afternoon. You can have it in the evening if you're watching everyone else eat dessert and you're like starving. So I'm interested to see, you know, it's just come out. So we'll see what kind of results people have. And I'll see that before I start saying, hey, everyone buy this. I don't do that. I like to see things work in action. To be in action. I don't know if you guys saw the video. I interviewed Erin Borden, who's in our group. She lost 65 pounds in a year on To Be Mindset. I'm like, I didn't even know you had that much weight to lose. And she's now maintained it for 6 months. So that's action. That's putting into play what's working. And then when you can maintain, you stop losing weight when you reach where you want to be, and then you add in extra food. So you're keeping track of where you are and where you want to be. This To Be Mindset really struck with me because that's kind of what I was doing. I've always got on the scale every day because it helps me mentally go, okay, drinking wine 5 days in a row, not good for me. Scale went up. And I know that. Going away on vacation, my body can maintain extra calories for like 5 days as long as I stop. If I don't stop, if I come home and go, oh, I haven't gained any weight, let's keep having those treats and everything. The scale goes like my body then holds on to it. So it's figuring out where you have to draw the line, because yes, we should have treats every so often. Yes, we should go out and have fun and enjoy whatever. But adapting it to what's going to work for us. So water and tracking are two of my biggest things. And that's with both programs, with Ultimate Portion Fix as well. Water, high priority. In tracking, I mean, for that, you're tracking your containers. So if you're not tracking, you have no idea how many containers you've eaten. So this book, if you guys have it, like Jenny, I know you haven't really decided which nutrition plan might be the best fit for you, but this tells you about Ultimate Portion Fix and To Be Mindset. Some of the recipes in here are absolutely amazing. And I think that's when we're trying to prepare food, we keep going to the same things. Then we get bored of it and we're like, okay, this eating healthy isn't fun. Well, go once a week and find at least one new recipe, whether it's from one of these books, whether it's from the Beachbody On Demand blog, whether it's from Pinterest. Pinterest is like my best friend. I plug in the ingredients I have. I often put healthy beside it or whatever, and I can find a healthier version of something. If you have a recipe you love, put it in the group and say, hey, how can I make this healthier? Or how can I help this fit the plan? Because that's often a few little tweaks can make many recipes better. And then often serving it over cauliflower rice or zoodles, or I'll like do a bed of spinach and I'll heat it up for 45 seconds so it wilts a little bit, and then I'll put whatever on top. And my family has pasta, and we're all good to go. So I can cook one main meal, and then that carby base I just take out in mine. So that is my biggest tip for dinners as well.
Yeah, those are the little changes that I'm making as well without, you see, with UPF, yes, it was great. And there's lots of recipes out there. But with To Be Mindset, I'm finding that a whole new version of things, like just like replacing something without having to make a whole new recipe. In my case, I mean, I know I can plug the number with the words and it can come, like you're saying, or finding other recipes online. But I just find I'm trying to stick to Be Mindset, and it's like so far working. And those little changes that you're mentioning are working. Like I discovered cauliflower rice, and I've discovered, the zoodles of zucchini noodles. So yeah, so far it's working. I mean, we'll see. Once I get out of this plateau. But
well, 3 days is not
yeah,
that can just be a few little things.
I know. But I feel like
I'm for a month.
yeah, I don't know. I feel I need to track a little bit better because I feel like I'm eating less than I was at UPF. And that kind of worries me because then you kind of get like holding on to whatever food you have and then you're not, you know what I mean? Like, so that's what I feel on UPF. I could barely finish what they were telling me to eat. Like it was, and I still lost weight and I couldn't really eat all that food. I was like having issues trying to finish it. And here, on the other hand, I feel like I'm not eating enough. I'm
Right.
still a little bit hungry. So there's something in my case that I'm not doing right.
So adding more vegetables is often the easiest thing. Just there, I mean, there's technically there's no limit for leafy greens and like all the vegetables she has on our list. There's no maximum. So if you're still hungry, have some more. For me, it's do I need this eating opportunity? Dinteo. I often have to plug that in because my big thing is snacking. I don't need to eat right now. So if you're still hungry at meals though, add more vegetables in and track. So often it's the accessories, what we put on top that are the big calorie additions. Track it all down and track, I don't have my tracker in front of me, but how you feel after the meal. And then the next day you can go, oh, okay, that wasn't quite enough food to sustain me more than an hour or even to sustain me past lunch. If I don't have carbs in my lunch, if I don't have a good, like lunch is my meal I need to eat the most. Otherwise, I feel the need to snack all afternoon. And that's another thing I've discovered through tracking. If I go out for lunch and I have a salad and I don't want to have a roll, but if there's no carbs in the salad, I go home and I'm like, okay, it's time to eat now. I'm like, that was a waste of money. So having half a sandwich or having something with some carbs in it when I eat out is necessary. And I mean, I'm sure Jenny hasn't eaten out lately, but many of us aren't eating out right now anyways, but when, why spend the money if you're going to need to come home and have a second meal? So get something that's going to sustain you, but take out the extra crap. Like you can ask them to hold the cheese or have a smaller portion and put it on the side. Dressings, a real tip I love from, I should think both of them say, water down your dressing.
Yeah.
Dressing on the side, water it down. It is amazing. If you use a thinner dressing, it goes so much further on your salad than if you have a super thick dressing, and you can cut, 200 calories. We're not counting calories on 2B, but every one of those little things adds up. So I like that we're not counting, but we still have to be very cognizant of what is in there. We eat a lot of pesto because our basil goes crazy here in the summer, and portion comes in there. If you thin it out a bit, it goes a long way. So choosing those accessories. But I mean, it comes like Ultimate Portion Fix. You do have to listen to your body too. I find 2B works. Ultimate Portion Fix works very well for people who are super focused. They've got results they want to get with a fitness program and with weight loss. They can really tune it in, follow the directions and get it done. 2B mindset, I find, is so much more lifestyle. Like this is how we're going to eat forever. Also, people who are in a higher weight bracket, Ultimate Portion Fix is an overwhelming amount of food for a lot of people there, because it goes by. It gives you the same food by weight. So whether you're a man or a woman, and most women who are over 200 pounds don't need the volume of food that a man over 200 pounds needs. Hey, Mary Beth. Mary Beth, meet Jenny and Yvette.
Hi.
So we're just talking about, 2B mindset, and I was just comparing so I've had a few people through our groups that have just found Ultimate Portion Fix was too much food when you're in a higher weight bracket. Well, in 2B mindset, they could kind of accommodate to where they were by tracking and make it fit in. I just
I've heard that too. I've heard the same thing. I think Christy, I remember, was saying that at the beginning, like, oh my gosh, there's no way. And she was trying to do the time nutrition and she was working out at night. So it was really tricky for her. So yeah, it sounds like there's a little more, well, a lot more flexibility with 2B mindset, right? Because everyone's kind of falling. Now, so does it matter your weight for 2B mindset? No. Okay.
Oh, and you just, so you track to how you feel. If you're hungry, you add more vegetables.
Yeah.
And then if, it doesn't sustain you the next day, you might need to add more protein in that meal. I was just watching, I don't know if you guys have seen the Netflix show right now. It's out with Darren O'Lean and Zac Efron. And
I saw it.
They're
no,
around,
what's the name?
Down to Earth.
Yeah.
Just told me.
Is it a show or is it like a series?
It's a Netflix series that's just come out, and it's a documentary, and they're traveling around. So Darren O'Lean is one of the creators of Shakeology, and the Ultimate Portion Fix, our food-based cleanse, and he is like nutrition guru. So Zach met him through something, and now they're just touring around, or they toured not recently, around the world. And the one, I think we were on episode 4, and they're interviewing centenarians, people over areas where there's more people
known for being more than 100 years old.
And what they did differently. And one thing is, we put such a focus on protein, and most of us don't need the amount of protein that we are getting in our bodies in every meal. Like, that's why, people are like, oh, I need a protein shake. Tell me about Shakeology. And I'm like, well, it's not a protein shake. It's only got 16 grams of protein. It's just a normal amount of protein you'd have in your meal. Well, some shakes are 40. There you go. Jenny just add. So we don't need that 40 grams of protein in our shake, unless you're some big bulky person who wants to bulk up on muscles, which most of our crew don't. It's not a goal. So, and it wasn't just, addition of protein shakes, but it's just in every meal. So protein can help us feel more full, but often we just need more in our belly. So it's just keeping track and seeing what suits you, and different kind of proteins. And another thing you'll find with different foods is what causes bloating. Some people, when they start eating more vegetables, have more bloating, have more gaseous issues, and part of it is your body will learn. Same with drinking Shakeology. Some people have digestive issues when they start that, because your body's not used to digesting all those different things, and it's a process. So your body will adjust. Sometimes specific vegetables and specific foods your body just can't digest. Like some people, dairy is a problem.
Broccoli.
Broccoli and Mary Beth do not go together.
No. My husband is like, I'm not kidding you. I'm going to die, because it is so bad. It is awful. It is, and the gas pains, I'm like, nope, we're done. We're done with broccoli and cauliflower. Broccoli raw. Bad.
Meanwhile, in my house, broccoli is the main vegetable we eat. Like, we go through a Costco bag at least a week. So everyone will be different. Every family will be different. Almond milk. When people show their shakes and they talk about how thick they are, it varies so much depending on what you use for liquid. So water will just blend up, and thickness depends on how much frozen you put in. Regular milk, cow's milk, will be kind of a moderate. It's often sweeter because milk is a little bit sweeter. Almond milk, there are so many different kinds. Sometimes it acts like milk. Sometimes it makes it thick and globby, depending on what's in your almond milk. So, and every other plant-based milk will be like that too. It just depends. And I don't even know if it's the carrageenan or what it is, but sometimes people are like, my shake was so thick and globby. And I'm like, be careful what kind of almond milk you're using, because just because you think it's replacing dairy and it's better, it might be worse. Because can be a lot of odd ingredients in there. Almond breeze. I use Trader Joe's, but you two won't get that.
Yeah, I use the Kirkland kind. It's really good. I used to use it.
We just got that for the first time.
The unsweetened
while we were away.
Yeah. Yeah, the unsweetened one. But I just got the chocolate. I just got the chocolate almond. Oh, from Breeze. I shouldn't have.
Yeah, it's just like chocolate milk.
It was like,
so also learning when you buy chocolate milk or something, if you're going to be tempted to drink the whole thing, like I'll get one thinking my family's going to drink it, and next thing I know, I've had 3/4 of the container. So it's
I know it was like
buy the big container, but sometimes sticking with the smaller container or only having treats like that when you're out is the best option. Teaching your kids that if they don't want you to eat something, they need to hide it far away from you. Otherwise you can never buy it again. There's things, if you have no self-control over it, do not bring it in the house. But I find once your palate adapts to enjoying vegetables more and more, you have less cravings for some of those sweet treats.
Or when you have it, it makes you feel kind of sick, right? If you don't, and you can't eat what's not in your home. That's what I found. Because like if it's in my home, I know myself, I struggle. Like I'm a chocolate person. Like I couldn't just have a piece of dark chocolate in my house. Honestly, I would just eat the whole bar. I just don't, I love dark chocolate. My husband would look at it, have one taste and then forget about it. I'm like, I know it's in there. So you have to know your, like you said, you have to know yourself. But what, oh, stop it. My kid is yelling that I ate a whole thing of ice cream. Thanks a lot. But I find, honestly, one of my favorite treats, like a dessert, is Shakeology in the afternoon, or the Beach Bar with some almond butter on top and fresh fruit or frozen berries on top of the Beach Bar with almond butter or peanut butter. It's amazing, and it feels like a dessert. So just finding those things that will work for you. Get out of here. That will work for you, you know, to give you that, like, I'm having a treat, you know, kind of feeling, because it's hard when it's in the house, at least for me.
Yeah, yesterday I had a Wonder Whip. So Jenny, you probably haven't seen those yet. It's one of the Ilana's creations, and it's Greek yogurt with, often she puts Shakeology in it, and then whatever. I put some chopped up banana, a little bit of peanut butter, some high fiber cereal, just a little bit to give it a crunch. And I put some milk so I could stir it. And it filled me up for hours. I'm like, yesterday I wanted to try Bevy, and I'm like, I'm still full from my Wonder Whip. So it's like, it's almost like a decadent treat, and it's filling, yeah. And she makes them in giant bowls, and I'm like, I don't know if I might have an issue with Greek yogurt. I think my body maybe
doesn't like it,
but it's good.
Fills you up.
Yeah, it fills me up. So it's finding those treats that are better. But you have to be careful. Like every so often I'll buy, you know, one of those Halo yogurt or ice creams. You know, it's only 300 calories for the whole container, but it's crap. Like there's no nutrition in there. So yes, it's a sweet treat. Yes, it's not high in calorie, but how do you feel after you have it? And if you have it, I don't know, for me, I'm like, I can have more because it's super low calorie. And then I eat the whole thing, and I'm like, so I'm better off having like one spoon of the regular ice cream that everyone else has. And I'm usually happy with one scoop.
One scoop, yeah.
Have a glass of wine instead. Just on the weekends now, though. I regained control. It was bad for a while.
Yeah. I'm sorry I missed the beginning. Jenny and Yvette, are you guys both just starting out on the 2B, or where are you guys at? Is that okay for you guys to share that?
So I can share. I've done nothing. No, I started with Nicola back in March when everything craziness hit, and I was quite adamant and stuck with my exercise. And then when school really got going for my kids again, then I sort of tapered off, and then we ended up getting out of here for the first time to go camping, and you know, I let things slide. And so now I've been back this week, and so that's good, because as long as I'm here and I have time, then I'll do it. But more at nutrition and trying to start something. So I'm just listening and learning, and hopefully going to ramp up that part of it as well.
Good. So you have the 2B videos and all that?
Not yet.
Not yet. I'm real newbie.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I just was trying to figure out where everyone was at. Well, you're in the best hands because Nicola is like the expert of all things to be mindset. So you're in awesome hands, and man, she is so on it and supporting everybody. So
thank you. Awesome. And I agree.
She's the best. She's the best. That's awesome. Okay, cool.
And you've been doing it for a couple months?
Yeah. So just been doing it for a little while.
Okay, good. And what is your favorite part about the program?
It's my favorite part, and also the one that I feel not that comfortable with is the fact that I feel free to do things. Like I'm not confined to having this amount of portions and containers like I did with UPF about 4 or 5 years ago, and I had really good results. And I was just trying to something different. And it's as I said, is the good thing about it, and to me also the bad thing, because I feel like I wasn't having, like I just felt floating, you know, like I needed a sense of I don't know, groundness. I don't know how to even explain it.
I know what you mean.
To leave it to my own, I feel like I can do whatever. Like if I want, I can just go crazy on something, you know, like
do you use the daily tracker yet?
Seriously, I haven't been using. I have kind of keeping. I should, in other words, no, I'm not gonna. I've been kind of like keeping tally, but not really like the tracker and how I'm feeling. No, I haven't.
That might help you just feel like there's a little more structure, because there is some structure to be mindset. Not, I mean, there's some like kind of guidelines, right, that you guys follow with the plating and all that kind of stuff. But maybe just writing it down. I know for myself, if I have to write, I do ultimate portion fix, but if I have to write it or put it in the tracker, that helps me kind of do like a gut check, like, do I really need this? Because if I'm using the tracker, I write it down. You know, not that I want it to be like around, like making me feel guilty or anything, but it's just like, it makes me reflect and stop and think, am I really hungry? You know, oh wait, I'm falling, you know, like look at my tracker for the day, like, and then also the daily weight thing. I know you guys do the daily weight thing, and at first I didn't like that idea at all, but I kind of get where she's coming from with the weighing in daily, right? It's more just to see what foods are helping you lose and gain, the trends and things like that of what's working and not working for you.
Yeah, it can be, I mean, you can really use that number to stress yourself out and knock yourself off track. And I've had a couple people who look at it different ways. They look at the number and then they don't write down how much they weigh. They write down how much they've lost or gained that day, and focusing at 5 pounds at a time. So if you've got a lot of weight to lose and you're like, I lost like 1% of my weight this week, that's no fun. Focusing 5 pounds at a time, or even 2 pounds at a time, is so much more doable, because it's, you know, you can keep hitting your goals. Like, bam, I've got that goal. I'm going to get there. And much more, you know, it just feels better than looking at that vast, a big number and getting overwhelmed by it. And that number, the number on the scale doesn't define us. So it's a tool. The scale is simply a tool. And it's funny because Autumn's newest program, the video they put out is her smashing the scale and saying, don't worry about what that stupid thing says yet. One of our nutrition programs uses it every day. So I'm not quite sure why they did that. But if you learn to use it as a tool, not as a, you know, something that makes you feel bad, then, but I mean, for Autumn's always been petite and she's muscular. And so she weighs more than probably, you know, a skinny person at the same stature as her. And so probably 5 pounds more though. I'm like, girl, get to 200 pounds and then come and talk to like 3/4 of the people in here. So it's,
it just depends. Yeah. And I think the only thing that I had, like when 2B first came out, that my concern was women or men that are struggling with any kind of body, like, you know, dysmorphia or any kind of, you know, eating disorders or things like that, because I feel like they tend to have a obsession around the scale. And so I know that that program 2B is not recommended for people who have any type of eating disorder background. Is that correct, Nicola?
To a degree, the videos go into the scale because Alana had battled with her weight a whole life. That's why she came up with the program, because so many eating plans do, you know, want you to starve yourself and to cut things out and to, you know, it's the whole, and I really resonate with her on that because I battled with my weight as a child too. And I love volume. And this program gives you volume in vegetables. And so often you cut things out and that's when you binge on them, and that leads to other eating disorders. So it's kind of the anti-diet is the idea of it. You're not dieting. So it helps with a lot of eating disorders because if you want a cookie, then have a cookie, but write it down. See how it makes you feel?
Yeah.
If the scale's not down the next day, you're like, maybe that cookie wasn't so good after all, because I want to see that number go in the direction I want it to go in. So mindset.
Positive reinforcement for the good things that you did, right? And writing it down. I you know, reinforces that as well. So I do get it. I just haven't been doing it, and I should. But
hey, but you're here today, so you're
you see, I have to print it, and this is, I know it's a silly excuse, but I don't have a printer, and I didn't order the booklet itself. I ordered the digital program, so I wonder if I can download the PDF and fill it online.
and take it to Staples or somewhere, and they can print it up.
I could do that too.
And get it spiral bound. If you print it up, get a spiral bound. I actually took my book into our Office Max store and had them, they rip it apart and spiral bind it for, you know, $7 or something, because it's so much easier to open it up. I still don't use it every day like I need to right now because I've, you know, but I know I've done it long enough. I know what to do, but I still know if I track it 100%, I will see the changes faster. So seeing the results with the program I'm doing right now, Morning Meltdown, we were just away for 5 days and I was good with my vegetables, but I had 2 drinks a night for 4 days and I had a couple s'mores. And so the scale went
that sounds so good.
Sorry. The scale went up 0.5 pound and I'm back on 100% and it's already down in 1 day. So it's because I still stayed 80% on track. I still put the veggies first. I still cut the carbs for my dinner. I just had a few extra treats. So it's pulling back in. And these workouts they're fun. I love them.
I have a question. You just reminded me of something as you were saying, cutting the carbs off my dinner. It's the dinner and done part. So at what time are you supposed to be the dinner and done? Like you're talking about the 12 hours.
Right.
So if I eat at 8 o'clock in the morning at night or 8:30, let's say, and then in the morning, so at that time I won't have any carbs, but can I have carbs until like 6? And then in the morning I have to have breakfast before I go to work. So I usually have breakfast around 6 in the morning.
So your window overnight would be a little less. Your carbs should be done with your lunchtime meal if you can. And looking through the videos and again, and that's the thing, going back and going through the videos, any area you have questions in, everything is laid out. You just have to remind yourself the little parts and tweak it.
Yeah, watch the videos, but I might have missed that, because that the part that I wasn't getting, I was like, okay, evening, it says no carbs. They're talking about the starchy carbs, not the fiber-filled carbs, right?
All carbs. Fiber, dinner is 3/4 vegetables and 1/4 protein.
Okay. I was doing it wrong.
Okay.
So
Maybe it was wrong.
So good. This is so
I gotta go and
I
check
love
those videos again.
Go back. I'm doing UPF for the 3rd freaking time. And I have the certification. And, you know, I still am going back through it. I'm like, holy crap, I didn't know that. So there's something to always go back and comb through that, and you'll pick up, you know, you'll pick up new things. But don't beat yourself up about not having it all down. Like, you know, Nicola said, it's a system. It's something you have to learn over time. You know, you don't have to be perfect, because then what happens is you're just going to self-sabotage and you're going to throw in the towel and say, screw this, rather than, hey, I can push through it. But just, you know, even if you just implement one new thing a week, that can help.
this video is going to end momentarily. We were like almost done. But that's good. So I'm going to post the recording in the group. So if you have questions, ask, and I'm going to be doing more, you know, we're going to do refresher things through the To Be Mindset group, the Lose Weight Happily group. We also have an Ultimate Portion Fix group, and then we've got the main wellness group. So we're just trying to pull some of the nutrition to the side a bit. So some people just aren't as focused on it. But if you need the extra help, we are always here to help with it for sure.
Great. Thank you so much for all the support and being there for us.
Nicola,
Yes, thanks so much.
Okay.
Talk to you guys
Talk
later.
to you later.
Thanks for coming
Great to
today.
see everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.